Well, as promised, we are spending the half hour with Blackhawk Ministries. Pastor Kevin Rivers is a senior pastor leading Blackhawk. He joins us now. Now, you guys have a big celebration coming up. You're celebrating a 50th anniversary. Clearly, you and I both have not been around for 50 years because we're like 29. I keep trying to pull that off. Nobody's buying me.
I think it's totally believable.
I have to tell people, you also are my neighbor.
Yes.
And embarrassingly, because they haven't been there very long, I didn't meet him until he came in today. I'm really not a terrible neighbor, I promise.
Or maybe I'm a bad pastor because I didn't meet you.
See, that's it. Let's go with that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go home and gather up all the neighbors so they can tell you that we're nice people, I swear. Okay, so you're in Fort Wayne, leading both a church and a school. You have not been here the 50 years. Tell us a little bit about your past, your history. Where'd you come from?
Sure. Yeah, we moved, my family and I did, going on 3 years ago, later this fall, from Georgia, West Georgia. We were born, raised there, and had no plans of moving, but God did. And so we have just loved the move and loved the Blackhawk family and the city here, yeah.
Well, you'd never know that you're from Georgia with that accent.
Do you hear it? Is it still in there?
Just a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of like the Kentucky comes out of me when I get tired.
Okay, I'm convinced, or I'm determined to not let Fort Wayne steal it from me.
Well,
yeah.
Good luck with that. If you stick around, it's probably going to go away a little bit. So tell us about your family. You mentioned your family. I know a little bit because I've seen them outside. Haven't talked to them, but tell us about your family.
Yeah, so I've got an amazing family. So my wife of 13 years, Jessica, and we've got 3 beautiful kids. Caleb, our oldest, is in 3rd grade. He's 8. Callie is in 1st grade.
Okay.
She is 6. And then Kaya is our youngest, is a year and a half.
So in the 3 years and since you've come, they've gotten to experience Blackhawk schools and a church. So tell us what they think.
Absolutely. I can speak as a parent and as a pastor, and I can tell you from both regards, we have just loved not just our school, our church, but even just our city. They've meshed well. We found good, deep relationships in a short amount of time, so we're just really blessed. We love our city.
I love it. And this is a very welcoming place, I feel like.
Yes.
Fort Wayne really brings people in. And there's a big tradition at Blackhawk. You come to a church that everybody in town knows Blackhawk. Everybody knows the schools, especially after y'all won the state basketball tournament last year. But everybody knows the tradition of Blackhawk. Tell me, what do you see in the future for Blackhawk? Where do you see it go? Everybody knows what's happened. Tell me what you see in the future.
Yeah. First of all, I'm just thankful for the city. We actually came to be able to meet our youngest daughter, Kaya. We adopted her through connections that we made here in Fort Wayne.
How cool.
And just the connectivity, the unity. It's just a unique unity season, I think, not just at Blackhawk, not just at the school, but the city. And so that would be, I think, my heart and answer to your question is just how do we continue coming together in a world that can so often be divided. We're experiencing a unique unity at our church, our school, but also our city.
Yes.
You know, just so many efforts, city movements that are built on prayer, Fort Wayne United, so many different things that I know God's put in front of me that's allowed us to be a part of it.
On your website, people can look and they see you guys have an initiative. It's hashtag, what was it,
Light the 1-5.
Yes. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so Light the 1-5 is our vision, and it's really built on John chapter 1 and verse 5 in the Bible that says the light has entered the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. And we believe the world needs light right now, and Jesus is that light, and so we want to make him known, and it starts in our 1-5 zip code, 46815, and goes all the way around the world into different regions that we want to impact with the light of Jesus. So, yeah, that's our vision, our heart.
You really do reach out, both through the church and through the school. So we want to continue to talk about this. We want to talk about what's going on maybe at the school and in the church. We also want to talk about that big celebration. So stick with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We're going to continue our discussion about what's going on at Blackhawk Ministries, both the school and the church. We've been joined by Chip Clark. He's the worship pastor, and I can't wait to show some video. Listen, that is my love language, okay? Is my music is my thing. I may not be as good as I may think I am, but I was in a band once. I'll tell you about that some other time. We have a picture of, actually, I think I had the video first. So we've got some video of you guys worshiping at church. I want us to be able to hear the fantastic music a little bit. So let's play that so we can check it out. I'm the pure sacrifice. Let my for a long time, they may think Blackhawk Christian, well, that's super conservative and traditional, maybe is the word I'm looking for. Not conservative, traditional is the word I'm looking for. I think this video shows, and as it goes on, you had a table, you were seeing come to the table, and you had a table out, and people were, you are worshiping in a way that's going to touch people now, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think what I love about what we get to do is that you're right, we are conservative, we are traditional, but we're not just that. You know, Pastor Kevin likes to tell us all the time that there's a seat for everyone, and that's what we want to exemplify, that there is a seat for everyone, so we want to touch everyone that walks through our doors.
And it's kind of fun. I mentioned you guys, my dad's a minister, and music is a hot topic. Yeah. It's a hot button issue.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if somebody doesn't like that you're not playing as many hymns, or if somebody doesn't like that you're playing too many hymns, you're gonna hear about it.
Yeah.
And I think that the feeling I get and is that it's not about us individually.
Yes.
It's about worshiping together collectively.
Oh yeah, yeah. And my heart is, when it comes to worship, we serve an audience of one. It's really not about us to begin with. It's about the God that we serve. And people often ask, so what kind of church are you, Pastor? Are you conservative? Or are you traditional? Are you a black church? Or are you a white church? And I say yes.
All of the above.
We're a church for people, where there's a seat for everybody at Blackhawk, and we do it all for His glory.
Well, we also have a picture of the staff. I think the other misconception about Blackhawk is that it's really small. That the school, because the school competes in 1A in sports, everybody that watches InSight knows that it's 2A now.
2A now.
Oh, that's right, because of how well they did. I'm all about the sports all the time. But you guys, it is a great school. I have plenty of friends whose kids go to school there, whose young adults go to school there, and you offer more. You may not have the numbers, but you have a lot to offer, right?
We believe so, for sure. And we're just a lot of people attached to our family, but we are a family. It's a family feel, and both Chip and I have had and currently have, for me, kids in the school, and it's just a family. And that's why we believe in lighting the 1-5, starting our zip code, and making sure people have a place in that family, because it's God's family, ultimately.
Absolutely. And I think a lot of people right now are searching for something different for their kids, someplace that's safe, someplace that feels like family, and that's definitely what you guys are doing. It's not just Sundays, but let's go with Sundays. Every Sunday when you come into the building and you go up on the stage to start the worship service, what is your mission?
Well, really is to how can we impact the masses, right? I mean, obviously it is an audience of one. But He sent us there for His church.
Right.
And so what is our goal is not just for someone who's been there forever, someone who's new. It really is everyone.
That's right.
And it's really hard to do. I mean, you talk about hymns, we love doing hymns. You talk about choir songs, we love doing choirs. Like worship songs, we love doing worship songs, because we know that we have a broad audience to impact, with the message. So.
Well, and we talked about your background. That's how I should have started it with Chips. How long have you been at Blackhawk?
Yeah, it's going on 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I because of our vision, when we talk about hashtag like the 1-5 and it being a community-focused church, and our pastor has really been pushing us to do things outward, from the inside out. Like, we have to be healthy inside, but what we do, outside actually matters as well. That's the reason why I'm there. I mean, but I also get to lead worship. So
that's a good thing. That's a good benefit.
Yes.
Getting to lead worship. Well, we want to talk about this big celebration that's coming up and what all people can do and see. It includes David Jeremiah, who may be my dad. My dad may be his biggest fan, just for the record. So we're going to tell you all about it coming up. Well, we've been talking about Blackhawk Ministries, everything that's going on, the Light the 1-5 that they're doing, and all the different things at the school. I want to talk about the big celebration. So, 50 years. That's a long time.
It is. Yes.
Talk about steeped in tradition. It is. So you're doing something really special for the 50th anniversary celebration, aren't you?
We are, yeah. We are so humbled to be a part of a place that has so much legacy, so much history, so many shoulders that we get to stand
Yes.
on. And our Light the 1-5 vision wouldn't be here without the foundations that have come before us. So for 50 years, we've got really a month-long celebration, but we've packed a lot into a week. Starting September the 8th, we're going to celebrate at the church and then have a big outreach of events for the community, people that have been a part of Blackhawk and beyond.
I love the fact that you are bringing back everybody who's been there.
Yeah.
Tell us about that, Chip.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. So just to kind of unpack that a little bit, on Sunday is our kickoff. We're having one service, starts at 10:30, and then we have a block party that is going to be for everyone. We really do believe in reaching out to the community, so everyone is invited. We'll have pony rides, bouncy houses, all that good stuff. But then on Monday, I'm super excited about that. We'll have our reunion choir, or reunion concert, which will feature our choir. We're actually going to go through the music through the ages, through the decades.
How fun is that?
Yes. So I don't know if anybody knows the name Pete Kobe, but Pete Kobe will be directing the choir. We have groups that will be singing as well. Our current worship team is just going to go through the ages, and that's going to be pretty cool. And that's Monday, 7 to 9. And then we have two identical services, Tuesday and Wednesday, and that will feature every pastor that's been there, and we'll have an opportunity to talk about school officials, and then we get to hear a word from Dr. David Jeremiah, which would be awesome.
Well, for people who, I think a lot of people know these pastors, and especially Rick Hawks and Kelly Bird are still active in our community.
Yes.
And people see them out in places, and so these are familiar names that they know whether they went to Blackhawk or not.
Yes.
But you brought up David Jeremiah. I've told you all. My dad, the minister Southern Baptist minister down in Hanover, Indiana, is obsessed with David Jeremiah. For people who haven't heard of him, tell us about him.
Yeah, well, so he's our first and founding senior pastor at Blackhawk. So he got it all started. The Light the 1-5 vision, our impact in the community, wouldn't be here without him, and Manuel that helped plant the church, and him stepping into that role with 6 other families. But of course, he's become nationally recognized in a worldwide sense just for all of his work for the Lord and for the kingdom, not just as a pastor, but a leader. And so we're honored to have him, as well as the other shoulders that we get to stand on. I'm honored to be on that list with those guys for sure.
Yeah.
Well, if anybody ever needs to, a link to things David Jeremiah has ever done, just let me know, because I have 100 of them in my phone that my dad sends to us kids and goes, I heard this, you should check it out. It was great. And
Great man.
yeah, and my dad, always the pastor, even to his own children. Yes. So let's tell people, do you need tickets? Is there a cost? How is this all working?
Yeah. So it's free. Chip, you want to walk us through and tell us
Definitely,
about
yeah. So it is free, but there is a ticket that people need to make sure that they go online to reserve, specifically for the Tuesday and Wednesday. Sunday, just come. Monday, just come. But Tuesday and Wednesday, there is a ticket required. The ticket is free. They can find that online at blackhawkministries.org/events/50. Yeah.
And that's necessary because you guys want as many people as you can get. But
Certainly.
if you've been in Blackhawk, how many do you seat?
We can seat up to packed in probably 1,500 there. And
okay.
so we anticipate it being very full. It's filling up quick. So we do want to seat for everybody and to anticipate. That's our theme for this event is honor, celebrate, anticipate. And so we do want to be able to anticipate people coming so we can have room for everybody.
Well, and I am certain, I'm with you, it will be sold out. I'm going to use the term, even though it doesn't cost you anything.
That's right.
It will be both nights, but you ought to get your tickets now because they won't last. Listen, once JD Trailer knows that David Jeremiah is here, those tickets are gone. He's going to bring everybody up from Hanover Baptist Church.
Come on.
Come on up.
We want to talk about the specifics again, but also about why do this celebration. Stick with us. We'll be right back. Well, welcome back. We've been talking about Blackhawk Ministries, both the church and the school, and everything they're doing there, and their big celebration that's coming up, celebrating 50 years. So let's talk about that a little bit. Why do this?
Yeah. So we definitely believe that we said honor, celebrate, anticipate. That's our theme for the 50-year anniversary, and certainly we want to honor what has come before us. We wouldn't be here without
Right.
that. We want to celebrate that. But just as big, and really in my heart, just as important, most important, is the anticipate part. We believe that God's going to just be getting started as we enter this next 50 years. The best days are ahead of us, and we wouldn't have a Light the 1-5 vision that starts with John 1-5 and starts in our zip code 46815. We believe if we can't go across our streets, how then will we go around the world? And so we want to plant life groups, small groups of people that not just study the Bible, but outwardly focus on the world around us in our 15 surrounding zip codes, surrounding the 46815. But we've also identified globally, not just local, but globally 15 regions. The different world religions dominate, and there are different views, different people, different everythings. And so we want to have an impact and an influence in all of those regions very strategically with partners that we either send. So we're really blessed with that. And so it's the 1-5 vision that we have, Light the 1-5, that really is the heartbeat behind why do a celebration, so that we can really anticipate and keep going.
I love how the number just translates to everything. That's very cohesive. Well done.
Thank you, yeah.
I think that's great. And I am guessing people watching are kind of like, I'm excited for that. You know, I want.
am.
So let's say somebody's watching. They're like, I'm interested in this. I want to know more. But I'm going to be gone the week of September 8th. Or, you know, hopefully after today it sells out and you don't have any tickets left for those 2 nights. How can people get more information? How can they get involved at Blackhawk?
It's a great question. The how part to the why of our vision, which is Light the 1-5, is we've nailed it down to 3 words. It's gather, connect, go. We believe in gathering together. We do that on a weekly basis, 9 and 10:45, 2 services on Sundays. We have life groups, which are small groups of people where you can study the Bible together, grow together, lean on each other, celebrate. And then go, which is serve, find a place to serve. And so you can do that any week at Blackhawk, any day of the week, going to our website, finding a group, showing up on a Sunday. There's a seat for everybody at Blackhawk.
Well, on a side note, if somebody's involved in another church or they're going to another church, you still think that's great. You want everybody.
We're all on the same team.
That's exactly right. But you just said something that hit me a little bit right between the eyes, because I've not been as great as we used to. I've not been. You have to get involved.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can't just come on a Sunday morning, sit in the pew, and not be involved in your church.
That is our heart. It really is. It's to not just to be known, but to know others. And it takes work to do that. It takes work to be seen, but it takes even more work to get involved and do something with what God has given us, which is His grace and His love. And how could we just sit on that as our heart? So we're an outward focused church and want to continue building that.
Well, I love it. I love the life groups. I think that just helps people do life better, for sure. Run down, again, the logistics for us the week of September 8th. We got 40 seconds.
All right, so Sunday is our kickoff, 10:30, services start. Then 12 to 4, we have our block party. That's just for the community. A lot of events that'll be going on during that time. On Monday night, 7 to 9 is our reunion concert. And then we have identical services start at 6 p.m., doors open at 5:30, where you'll be able to hear from all of the pastors. And then Pastor Jeremiah will be speaking to us those 2 nights as well.
Well, it will be a fantastic week, I am sure of that. And I love the fact that you are celebrating the past, but anticipating the future.
Indeed.
And seeing how you can reach out and be in our community. Fort Wayne appreciates that. Make sure that you go to the website and get your tickets. You can also find out any other information you would like about Blackhawk Church or the school. We'll be right back.